We are out at our rented pasture. These are our new fall cows, the new set, and we are kind of rotationally grazing them between 3 big spots. I don't know, they're about 30 acres each. And then we have steers way over there on that hill, but we don't just want to have the cows and the steers with just a single hot wire between them. I'm gonna move them here behind a 5-wire fence. I'm gonna move the steers to where they have access to a pond. So it takes a little bit of management, but since we're just doing this for a short-term rent, essentially, we're not setting up a whole bunch of new fencing. We just strung a hot wire and we're just kind of moving them in about a 3-paddock, 4-paddock system. The steers haven't been moved yet, but the cows, this is their second time moving. Even though we've only had them for a month, they move pretty easily, and hopefully they follow me right through that gap right there. Actually, there is one steer that got in with them, which is kind of dumb, but it would take a lot of work to sort it out, so I'm gonna just probably leave it there. I'm not sure yet. But here they are, and we'll see if they follow me. All right, I got the steers moved, and I attached the hot wire there, so that now they are blocked in the northeast corner paddock here. They've grazed down the cheat and whatever else was growing on the south central paddock. And now I gotta move them steers from the northwest to north central. Not too confusing if you know your directions. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect that so I can go work on make an opening over there to run them through. I didn't want to get buzzed. All right, there they are. They're getting water from the tank. And now you can really see the difference between this paddock that they've grazed down, and it was not really grazed at all last year. And then this paddock over here was hayed last year. It's all greened up, and so that's where we're moving them, to the green. And then there's a pond on the back side of there. Here you can also see the dividing line between what was hayed, and this pasture over here wasn't really utilized last year either. So it had a lot of really tall dead grass. So there's actually a lot of green grass growing in this one over here, but it's just totally covered up by all the dead grass growth from last year. So that way we're moving them back and forth between green grass, which has more protein, and then older grass, or last year's grass, which has more carbon. Oh, look at this. Look at this, everybody. There's some thistle. I'm gonna stop and kill that. Even if we're only gonna have this pasture for 1 year, I'm gonna do my state proud and get rid of this thistle. We don't want thistle in any pastures. Even, I mean, I don't want any thistle in the whole county. I hate this stuff. So musk thistle like that spread like weeds, but they spread very fast, and they're actually a noxious weed in this state, and I feel like most states. So we just want to do our job of taking care of the land for the next person who's going to farm it after us, and make sure they don't have any weed problems. And cattle obviously like grass more than weeds. There are certain weeds that they'll eat, but grass is healthier for them. Crosby, are you excited? Are you excited for your new bag of food? All right, I am getting the trailer backed up here. I separated the bulls from the pen, and they're off to do a breeding soundness exam at the vet. A breeding soundness exam is done so that you know the quality that you have on your bulls, and you get them tested, and they look over their feet and everything, just to make sure they're gonna get the job done out there at pasture. So our 2 bulls are back there. I'll get them loaded up here, and we'll be off to the vet. Okay, we got Bubba on the left, Thunder on the right. They have a very small flight zone, so they've been very easy to work with. Got them from Baron Bros, Hereford and Angus. So the 2 breeds that they raise are the 2 breeds that we have here. They get along. I have never seen them fight too bad. They butt heads every now and then, but they've been very easy to keep over winter, especially since we had them with cows for 2 different breeding seasons, so we don't have to keep them separate for too much. These 2 bulls actually were in a steer feedlot pen after they came out from the group with fall cows. Go on, figure it out. Good job, Thunder. Good job, Thunder. Come on. That gate is kind of in the wrong place, but All right, come on, Bubba. Hey, hey. All right. Bubba and Thunder both passed the exam. Good job, boys. Vet said looked all good. Semen check, all passed. The flying colors. And they said for the age of the bull, they're just what you want. From what I've calculated, they're about 30 months. And so I'm going to turn them out now with the pairs. I just figured I'd do it. This is the day before I did it last year, so it correlates with the first calf coming on about February 26th, 27th, somewhere in there, depending on which type of gestation table you use. In order to get them to the paddock that I want them in, they've got to go between those two gates. So there's a hot wire across here. That's the last paddock, and then this paddock over here is the first paddock. So we have two pastures that are right next to each other, and we just run them in this little alley to move them between, so they're finished with what we call the east pasture. They're moving to the lamer pasture. The pairs are. So we're putting the bulls right into the lamer pasture. Well, I am. Not we, because I do all the cow stuff around here. You guys that follow on YouTube, you know that, right? I'm just kidding. But most of it. Look at that. Bull mobile. Go on. Go on. Oh, their first taste of grass for a while. Actually, the Hereford's been on a small deal of grass with a couple other cows, but I don't want them to cross this hot wire too early. They're gonna do it. They're in the paddock they need to be. Now all they gotta do is go over that hill and find their cows. I think I'm gonna follow them. My truck's turned off, so I'm just gonna follow them. Also, I haven't seen these cows for 2 days, so if I just walk over the hill, I wanna make sure they're in the right paddock. This pasture is next on the list to be burned. So these cedar trees, we'll get rid of them. We've mowed them in the past and sprayed stuff on them, but this pasture is the worst for those. I don't see any cows yet. It must be down by the pond. It's pretty warm today. Oh, there's the cows. All right, this is all the further I'm walking. So any of those cows that are in heat are first on the list for these bulls. Hopefully they're all within a few weeks of heat. And then we'll have a nice short breeding season. There's the neighbor's bull. I think I remember him from last year. And there's the calves he raised. Or, there's the calves he bred. So I think these bulls will remember each other from last year. They're a whole road apart, so they haven't been bothered. But this pasture over here borders 3 other pastures. Gotta have some pretty decent fences. All right, one of the last things I need to do today is tag the last calf of the year. That is the number 4 cow. We'll see if she is okay with me being here or if she doesn't like me. Every now and then there's an easier and safer way to do things, so I went right on the outside of the fence and it's done. Number 4 is tagged. The mama was fine with it. Now these cows are in a feedlot pen, but we are not dry lotting them. They were out on the grass that was on those 2 hills, and we're running them through here to knock back all these weeds that are growing, to just take care of the place. They're doing a good job. They're getting about 2 pens a day and just eating them through really fast. I'm gonna just give them some mineral in this bunk here. Just let them come up and lick it. Here's some nice green grass from the other side of the fence. Oh, she's just gonna take it from me. I couldn't hold on. Yeah, they like green grass. Close. There they go, onto the new growth. Weeds that are just sitting there ready to be eaten by cows. Also, on these days where it's so hot, really important to check if they're getting water. All right, here's our neighbors to the north. They have Hereford cows, and they are really, I like looking at them. All them white faces. That's what our bull is. We don't have any Hereford cows, just black white face. I was told that there was 2 steers or heifers mixed in. The guy called me, and I think they're those 2 black ones right back there, the ones that look like they don't belong, but those are not our tags. They are yellow tags and not orange, and we didn't turn out very many white faces with our set of steers that are grazing way over there. So I'm gonna call that guy back, and I'm gonna say you'll have to call a different neighbor because they're not ours. All part of the ranching business. So the cool thing about this guy is he comes out and checks his cattle with the horse on horseback, and I'm a little jealous of him. Oh, there's this bull. Look at that deep brisket bull. Yeah, this guy comes out and checks his cows on horseback. He's way cooler than me. That right there, folks, is what a mestizo looks like that's been smoked with spray. Dad came out here with our little spray rig truck and knocked it out, as well as a few others, it looks like. Looks like he missed this one though, so I'm gonna get it with a shovel. My truck bed is about as messy as it's ever been since I got it. You guys might think, oh, that purple flower looks kind of pretty, but it's not pretty. Got it. I'm gonna come back and pick up that purple flower so it's not still out here, because once they get to purple, they pretty much are already bloomed and could put on seed any day. And then that seed blows away, and then it ruins the rest of your pasture. Oh, the steers came out of the pond to say hi. Steers, they don't eat these. There's 90 out here in this group, and we turned them out a little bit bigger. We turned them out at a bigger weight than the other group. We turned them out at, you know, more like 600 pounds, I suppose. And they've probably gained 50 to 100 pounds. And that means that they'll finish up their last 30 to 60 days back at the feed lot before we sell them as 8 to 9 weights. They look good out here. It's a really pretty view. You can see kind of there on the horizon. You can see down into the Smoky Valley, tops of a couple elevators.